And welcome back to the Close to Home's April 2025 Intermediate Sampler. So please bring in your completed March block beginning Friday, April 11th through April 30th to receive your April kit free. Bring in that March block. We are stocked up on our Finish the Bolts, new selections, many bolts 50% off the remaining yardage, and that will be for about a week's time frame. A couple events I want to mention. Have you ever wondered what a multi-needle embroidery machine can do? You can sign up to attend Southington's free Brother instructed class on Friday, April 25th from 10 to 1 right here in the Southington location. Also, we have a 2-day event from OESD. All levels of embroiderers are welcome. It will be on August 22nd and 23rd. You will be given refreshments and lunch and everything you need to complete several projects. I believe there's 5 projects. You can sign up online or any of the locations to sign up. The fee for the 2-day event is $125. That's it on announcements. We are doing the Creative Grids mini pineapple block again. When I say again, I mean we've done it October of 2018. We've also done it February of 2022 and bringing it back for April 2025. It is 4 finished 6-inch blocks in the pineapple. Being a mini, there are 10 rounds in each of the 6 units and sewn together. So a lot of cutting. Let's look at the cutting instructions and I'll go over those pretty quickly. Everything is cut at 1.5-inch strips. When you do the white strip, because you need 16 of each size, I'm going to recommend you take your piece of fabric and fold it in half the long way. All right? So you're getting 4 1.5-inch strips the long way, and you'll be doubling it at the same time. So you're going to cut through 2 thicknesses. The first strip, you're going to get 8 2.5s. Next strip, 8 2 3/4, 8 3 1/4, and 7 3 3/4. You can't quite fit that in the strip that we've given you, so the excess on the first strip, you're going to get 1 more 3 3/4 off of that. You will have a pretty good sized chunk out of the 2.5 one. Okay, so these rectangles, you should have 16 of each size. Okay, the floral, which is a green base, and the dark swirl, which is the blue base, each of those pieces are exactly the same. And again, now you're going to cut them into 1.5-inch strips, again the long way. I know I have the white here, but the floral and the dark swirl, you're going to use the long way. 5 1.5-inch strips. You don't need to fold it, just leave it the way it is. You can put them on top of each other, and that's perfectly fine as well. The first is 8 2-inch rectangles. The next one, 8 2 3/4. You're going to need 8 3-inch rectangles, and then I believe there are 7 3.5s and only 6 3 3/4. And to get the extra 3.5, you'll take it out of this strip, and to get the extra 2 3 3/4, you'll take it out of the 2 strip. So a little confusing, but don't throw anything away. You get everything that you need. The green, you will cut 8 3-inch squares, and then the last small piece you'll cut 16 1.5-inch squares. And the most important one is the magenta, that you start with a very accurate 1.5-inch squares. You'll need 4 of those. Okay. So I have them all cut and pretty much set up. We should go, I really like the 3.5 by 6.5 inch ruler. It helped me cut all my little strips. So if you have a small ruler, maybe our store 2.5 by 6.5 is good. 3.5 by 6.5 is good. Anything that's small that can get maybe a 4-inch piece out of it would work really, really well to subcut all your strips into 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, etc., etc. Okay. Obviously, you will need the pineapple trim tool. This tool is the CGR JAW3 Mini. It makes a finished 4-inch pineapple, a 5-inch pineapple, and a 6-inch pineapple. Okay, we will be making the 6-inch, like I said. You'll notice some of the lines on these. These white lines going down the center are for the odd numbers. And then each of these, this round 1 square, round 2, round 4, round 6, round 8, round 10, each of these squares is obviously for the even squares. So we'll get into cutting those and then finishing off our pineapple trim tool with our green squares. So what I've done is I started with the magenta. I took my 1.5 by 2 greens, sewed them to opposite sides, and pressed them toward the, or away from the center, toward the outside. Okay, now this is round 1. Pretty simple. This is the only one where I take the tool and I place it in the round 1, where it says right here, round 1, and I place it right in the area where my magenta square is. We're going to have to cut this one a few times. Every time we're going to cut it, we're going to go once, turn it 90 degrees, line it up again with our square. Now notice these other white lines, how they're going like 1/4 of an inch from the line I just cut, and this white line down the center is going through the top of my magenta square, down through the bottom corner of my magenta square, and continuing. This will help keep you on track for each round. Okay, so we're going to do that. I'm going to turn it one more time. Every time, just turning it, finding round 1, lining up my lines, lining up my white line here, and one last one. All right, so nice and straight going through here and in through here, around my magenta, and the white line down the center. Don't worry about any other lines at this time. All right, so you're going to make 4 of these, and we're going to add our first round of our floral in our dark swirl. So to do that, we're going to take, it doesn't matter which is first, we're going to add our 2 sides of our dark swirl, press them out, and then take our floral, add those, and press them out. These will intersect right at the points, and that's pretty much the last time anything will intersect at the points. All right, just for your information. So once I had those sewn and pressed, this is now round 2. We're going to go over to our tool and we're going to find round 2, which is the first one in this corner. It's black, solid, round 2. I'm going to take my magenta square and we're going to line it up right in line 2. You can notice that these white lines are going down the sides of the green, which is perfect. But for the most part right now, we just want to make sure that's nice and square inside. And we're going to cut 2 angles. We're going to cut this one and this one. Okay. We're going to turn this around 180 degrees, place our ruler, round 2, back on the magenta. This is nice and parallel, and we're going to go ahead and cut these 2. Every time we should be cutting just a tip of the fabrics off the corner. All our even numbers will be cut in this manner, just by finding the round that we're on and cutting, turning 180 degrees and cutting. All right, that's round 2. Let's go to an odd one. So the next thing I did was I added the first round of white. Opposite sides, I pressed out, sewed opposite sides, pressed out to get this. Now to cut round 3, it's a little bit different. We're going to use our 45-degree angle and this white line that goes through the 45-degree angle. 4 positions, 3, 5, 7, and 9 for our odds. So I'll show you. We're going to take this and we're going to place the white line on the intersection of this one that we just sewed, the point right here. So I'm going to slide that up and put that in here. Oops, I'm on the... So it's not, we're not looking at everything, we're looking at these lines coming down, and we're looking for this white line to go right on that top of the seam. So this is not only a 1/2 inch, but a 1/4 inch. So we're literally cutting these numbers, these odd rounds, at the 45-degree angle here. Okay, and we're going to turn it again. We're going to find that line, that seam that we did. We're going to line that up. We're going to go ahead and trim that one. Turn it again. Line up our white line with this seam. And we can go ahead and trim that one. And one more time. Find the white line. This time it's the floral. Put it there. These white lines are going right down the intersection of the seams, and I'm going to trim this one. Okay. Okay. So all the odds, again, are going to be trimmed using the 45-degree angle. Let's do 2 more. Let's go. So now we have the florals and we have the dark swirls. So we're going to continue going out, adding our pieces on the same sides. So we're going to take our floral, put it against the floral side. Obviously our dark swirl is going to be sewn to the dark swirl side. All right, and we're just going to always kind of center it on our block. It's not going to be, we're going to start having more and more room on the sides. We don't need those. It's not going to fit exactly, and that's okay, but we're just going to center it. So that's what I've done with this one. My dark swirls are here, and I've added my floral. So this is round, the green was 1, that was 2, this is 3, we're back to our 4. So we're going to go ahead, find our 4, which is round 4 here. And we're just going to place round 4 in our magenta, line up our lines again. And remember I said, oh, they're just going to be a little bit up here. These lines are pretty much following the the lines in our block. So we're pretty centered, and we're just going to cut 2 sides. So this is our 90-degree side. And remember, with the evens, we just flip it around, find the even, which is number 4. Round 4 right here. Round 4 is the dashed. It's around our magenta. I'm looking at this line going down, this line, and our solid line following along our seams. And we can go ahead and cut this 90. And round 4 is done. Okay. So I've added the white for the next round, which is 5. Easy enough. Remember, the last even we did is going to go on the 45-degree angle trim line for rounds 3, 5, 7, and 9. So here's my white line. I'm just going to place it on that angle. I'm going to make sure my 2 white lines are centered on either side, and this white line's going right down the middle of my blocks, my block. All right, so once that is there, I can cut the 45, turn it. My center line goes right down the middle of my magenta. Goes right down the middle of the magenta square center. The white lines that are dashed are going down the edges, and my white line going across the top, which is parallel to my angle, is right on that seam. So I'm cutting these at 3/4. Okay. Now we're just going to keep going. I look for my seam, goes on the white line, the solid down the middle, goes through my 2 corners of my magenta center, and I can trim it again. And trim it again. Okay. Where am I? Whoop, this way. So my dashed white lines go on the sides of the green center, and the white line goes right down the middle of my magenta. The white line along my 45-degree line is right on the seam line. And that's that. So all the odds are done the same way. Okay. So every time I add one, the evens go to the squares and the blocks going up the middle. The odd numbers are the whites. And then this was 7, 8, 9, and then we're to 10. When we get to 10, we're not going to use our cornering thing. We're going to go up, and we're going to cut our floral and our dark swirl at the 45-degree line, just like we did all the odds. It's only because it's our very last one. So we have this line here, and I'm looking for the line at my 45-degree angle on the ruler. And again, this is going right down the center. And we're going to trim each of these at 3/4 inch. All right. So I'll turn this one. This one's also lined up. Here's the line going down the middle through my magenta. And then we're going to add our green triangles. Okay. It's only because it's our last one. Now we're going to take our triangles and we're going to place them on the dark swirls and the floral fabrics, not the white. This is our 6.5 right here. This is 6.5 right here. So we have to put our green corners on to make it 6.5. So we're going to take our floral fabric or our dark swirl fabric. We're going to put it right in the center and we're going to sew that. So let me go ahead and do that real fast and show you how to trim. Okay. If you want to pin, go ahead and pin. I'm going to grab another one. Just going to keep going, adding these to each of them, each of the non-white fabrics. So it's the dark swirl, grab another one. Again, I just kind of center it. Iron ready. One more corner. We're going to press it out and I'll show you how to trim it down. You please refer to the directions that come with the ruler. I'm giving everybody a copy. You can get them off the Creative Grid website if you've lost yours. Also, while you're on the Creative Grid website looking for this ruler, they have a wonderful, wonderful video. Again, a great tutorial that's going to explain it. So before you get started, you might want to watch that. All right, so now we have our pieces. I'm just going to press those out. And we're going to trim it one last time. Okay, so come on over. And the last thing we're going to do is put back our right here, our round number 10. Here is round number 10 in the center. Make sure all our lines are pretty much lined up. Nice 1/4 inch seam allowances. And we're going to go ahead and trim this side, and this side, not that side. And this should line up really well. I'm just going to come over here. And one more. Okay. And then we're going to turn it one more time. I'm going to get this side. Find my number 10. Round 10 is right here. This is all lined up, nice in the corners, nice along the edges. And all we have to do is the last two sides. There we are. All right, so you're going to make 4 of those. Sew those together. And you can make a pattern where it has the greens going in one direction if you want. You can have them so all the blues kind of come around in a circle along the outside. You can turn them so that the greens are here. You know, you can play with it a little bit. And this is your April block. It's the mini pineapple tool. Again, watch the video on Creative Grids. Also, you know, watch this video again and again until your block gets put together. So, hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching.